Hello everyone, welcome back to the devlogs. My name is your German scientist. Quick recap, I am a scripter for the Roblox group Refined Gentleman, and today I'm going to be continuing my work on the inventory system. Uh, no one's probably going to watch this, but the way this is going to work is I have this screen, which I'm going to be using for the actual playtesting, and I have another screen that shows off all the things that I need to do, my thought process, and all the other things that are going to go on with the project. So it is going to be everything that I need, and of course I can revise it later. So back into the video. The place that I left off yesterday was that I was having an issue that the tool was not being found. So what I think I'm going to do is I, I'm I'm not entirely sure, but I've been thinking about this, and my theory is that instead of running in the local functions, which I thought it would in the module, since it's referencing it inside of this events, I'm pretty sure that it's running inside of the events folder. So I am just going to add dot parent, and if this does work, then that will be very good. Now let's see. If I pick this up, backpack, nope, it does not. So it does run still in the function, in this local function, so that is not the issue. Oh my goodness. This is just causing me some issues. Name. Wait for child name. Why does this not work? No. I've already tried this before. I don't know why I'm doing it again. I'm going to quickly see. It does indeed print the name. So let's see if this will work. It didn't last time, but I just want to play test around with this. Make sure. And it does make that. But if we look in here, even though there is a block, there is not, it's not a part of my backpack. So the way that I am going to run this is I'm going to look, so print, let's see, I don't know if this is a service, but I'm going to see time, no. Hmm. So I already tried the wait function and it does not work. So there is an underlying issue that just will not be fixed, and I don't understand. I'm actually going to go into here and I'm going to open up chat.openai.com, and I'm just going to ask it a few questions um, about module scripts. So, can module scripts found in the player, in the starter player access oh my goodness, access the backpack? Oh, starter player service, referenced player, so local backpack. Ah, here we go. You know what the issue is? When I disabled the backpack, it will not... Okay. So I do still have a backpack, but it just does not work. Hmm. So if I were to add tool, part, I name it handle, and then I rename this to 1. No, doesn't do anything. So what I am going to do is I'm going to make that a comment so it doesn't interfere with the code. And then I'm going to do if script dot parent dot parent dot parent dot backpack, and there is going to be optimized code here, of course, just later. I'm then going to say then print backpack. Okay, so if I run this and I go over here, the issue may be that the disabled backpack is interfering. In fact, it does print. So now I'm going to say block, right? Because if I do this, then what should end up happening is that it will find it, and it did. So the underlying issue is with the name. Now if I put the name in here, and I pick it up, it does print. So what I think I need to do is I do this fact check right here, and then I take this line of code, so the line of code I just did, or actually I can just take this instead and then delete that. What it now should do is that if it finds it, it will do it. And I just confirmed that it should be able to find it. Block. Of course it's not. What is the issue? I do not understand. Print. No, I'm going to print this. Dot name. I am. This is not fun. You know what? I'm going to give ChatGPT my script, and I'm going to try to understand why this does not work. My code. Oh, sorry. Oh, I didn't even have it on there the whole time. Whoops. Okay. My code. Basically, what I did is I just did a fact check and if, and I just confirmed. Uh, will not work, even though it can find the the item, the named item. Okay, what will it say to this? It's designed to create a button and modify an item in the player's backpack. Accessing the backpack. Sure that you are correctly referencing. Okay. Modifying the backpack item. We're trying to assign a value directly to the backpack item. So let's see. No, no. Oh dear. So I can confirm that it does exist. Is equal. Oh! Oh! I. It's the little things. I bet you this is going to work. It's the little things. And it works. Okay, so I'm going to explain this quickly. Um, Actually, I'm going to show you quickly that it does actually work as intended. Um, if you guys can remember, there was whenever I tried to interact with this, it would pop up with an error. But now, if I click it, no error is present. And just to go back to here, there's no wait function. I didn't put anything in. Okay, so here is why this worked, or at least why I think this worked. So I'm going to use a little bit of space over here, and I'm going to get out my pen. So what I was referencing is the object itself, right? So the object here, I was trying to say this is equal to items. But the problem with this statement is that I was setting a physical object into a number, and this causes a syntax error. But what I could have done, or what I should have done a literal day ago, is reference the name. So when I referenced the name, which was what I was trying to do originally, this should have worked. The reason why I was a little bit messed up is because whenever I printed out just the object, it would print out the name, but it was just printing out what it was, not necessarily its name. So that is my thought process, how I got through that. Um, if that helps anyone, cool. um, so now what we have is a functioning script. And what I think I can do here is, even though I could fact check this, I'm pretty sure I do not need to do the if statement anymore. And I completely forgot to check it. Ooh, whoa. What in the world? I'm doing this with another person, so there are a couple of things that there are a couple of things that may go wrong just because of the fact that I'm doing this with someone else. Okay, so if I pick this up and I go into my backpack, it is 0. So why is it 0? Where does items get passed through? Here is where items get passed through. So we need to make items, and then I do not remember the order if it's plus equals or equals plus. I'm pretty sure it's plus equals. And then I do 1. Now see, what this does is basically it's the equivalent of saying items is equal to items plus 1. But instead of making a redundant second item, since we're already talking about items, you just do this. So it just adds 1 to the items variable. Now, if I go back in and I do it, backpack 1. See, we have 1, and if I go to player GUI inventory hotbar 1. Now, the next thing we need to do, if you remember, we had the UI list layout. And in this, I said that the sort order is layout order. So we need to make sure that 1 displays before 2, 2 displays before 3, so on and so forth. So the way I'm going to do that is actually very simple. I'm going to do button dot layout order is equal to items, right? So now if I click this and I go to players, Ninjishua, 1, oh, I was going to the wrong thing. Whoops. Alright, if we go into 1, and I didn't need to open the children of it, and I do not remember where the layout order is. Oh, here, 1, see? And just to make sure it's not just doing some random number, I'm going to make this 2. Whoa, if my computer can load. This is... I have a slow computer, so don't mind that. So if I click this, and I go into Players, Ninjashua, Player GUI, I'm going to stop saying that just because of redundancy. And the layout order, it might not show because it may be slightly pixelated, but it is too. So now, if we get out of here, we can go back in here and make this equal to items. Hurrah! So now, what we have to do is make the name what we want it to be. So we're going to do button. I like to put it after the name, just because it allows for a little bit, I don't know, I just like it. So now that we have that passed through, we hit play. Again, slower computer. I might turn down the bit rate sooner or later, but oh dear. Oh, okay. So interact with it and block. See, now we have a functioning GUI piece. Of course, it doesn't function in the sense that you can click on it, select it, or anything. But for now, it's good for our use case. It is you can pick it up, is what I'm trying to say, if I can speak. So, the next thing that we are going to do is we are going to go back to replicated storage. You might have to watch the first episode because it's heavily dependent on that. If you remember, if we made a text label that was called number, and this displays what number, what key you have to press in order to get to that item, right? So what we're going to do here is I'm going to put this after because it's a child, and I'm also going to add a space just so it's more readable. And I'm going to do button.number dot text is equal to items, right? Now, this will have to change because if I go into inventory, we obviously don't want the number to display anything, but for now, this should work. Now if I go here, works. Now if I were to pass through another number, so let's say we add 2 to it each time, and I went to it, it displays 2 instead of 1. This is good. We go back to 1. Alright. Now we have everything functioning visually, I should say, not functionally, but now we are going to do an event, right? Another event in the events folder. Or not folder, I should say local script. So, what do we need to look out for? we need to look out for a user input type. So this can be anything. It could literally be keyboard press. So let's say me doing just gibberish or a mouse click or anything. But the way we're going to access this is game colon get service user input service dot input began connect. And then I'm not going to put anything here again because we're going to go back to the local functions and make a new function. So this new function I'm going to call, let's see, what do I want to call this? I'll say hotbar select. And this is going to be a function. All right, now we have this set up, and we're not going to use Roblox's inbuilt AI because I just don't like it. Now we can connect this to, so local functions dot hotbar select. So when we're doing this, we're going to send through input, game processed, E. Now I'm going to do just another thing. We're going to do a function, and this is going to call local functions instead because I have to pass through more information. So we're going to give it input, game processed, and we are going to give it not GUI, we're going to give it selected. So here is the issue that presents itself. I have to send a value back through this. No, I don't actually need that there. I'm going to send it through there. So we're going to need another variable. This one is going to be called selected, and it's going to be equal to nil. So what selected is going to be is if we go back here and I take the button template and I drag it into the hotbar real quick, you can see that we need to make it be selected with 1. So if I hit the 1 key, it is going to be selected. So if I were to hit that 1 key and whatever yada 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 it selects, the code needs to know that in order to do all the things that it needs to do, right? So we're going to go back into events, and I'm going to send through input, game processed, and selected. Now, I know that there are going to be some issues that I'm going to run into, but we are not going to worry about that just yet. So I am sending through input, game processed, and selected. Now I'm going to do for, wait. I also need to know the amount. Okay, so I'm going to say we're going to do items, then we're also going to have H items. So the not hitums. I'll just say items, H items. H underscore items, can I do that? I can. All right, so this is going to be equal to 0. Oof, but that's not going to work. Okay, for now, what we are going to do is not make an inventory, and we're going to recode everything once we do have the inventory. So what that's going to entail is just having the hotbar, which makes my life a lot easier. So yet again, we are going to pass through another piece of information, and this is going to be items. Back into here, also pass through items. So now that we have this, we're going to do for underscore, and what do I want to call this? Array child is equal to, oh wait, no, in array do. And array is not a thing, but as I mentioned in the first video, modules do not only have to be functions. So what I'm going to do is make a second array, and this one is going to have 1 and a 2 and a 3. I'm not going to bore you with saying every single number, but I'm just going to get this done. And I'm not going to say 10 here, I'm going to say 0 because that is also a key at the top part of your keyboard. So if you look, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 0. So we're going to do local functions dot array. And in here we're going to say if input dot key code is equal to enum dot key code, and then in here we say array child. Oops, I forgot about the second equals sign. Then we're going to do something. We're going to do a subset of things with selected, but for now, here's what we got. We also actually do need the index, so I'm going to keep that there. And index is less than or equal to, is it like that? No, that looks wrong. Less than or equal to items, then we're going to do something. So I'm going to print input.keycode, and what this should do, mind you. Oh, okay, just making sure. enum.keycode1, and I know you can't see this, but I am pressing 2, 3, 4, 5, and nothing is happening. Now, if I were to have 2 blocks now, what should happen, is if I pick up 1, whoa, 2, we're going to hit 1, and then 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. But can't hit 3, 4, 5, all of those. So it is functioning as normally. I'm going to get rid of that. And now we're going to do some more things with index and selected. So we need to pass through selected, and we need to get a value back. So the way that I learned how to do this was to do return. Okay, back to ChatGPT. I'm going to ask it a question. So back into here, I'm going to say, How do you return a value from a function into, from a module script function into the original call? Okay, so let's see. Okay, so what I think I'm going to do is in here, I'm going to also make local functions, and then I'm going to do selected is equal to nil, right? So what this is going to do is in here, after it's all said and done, my goodness, I'm a little bit tired. But after it's all said and done, it's going to trigger another script that, oh, sorry. It So there's going to be another function, and that function is basically going to return what this selected is and send it back into the events, and that will work out nicely for me. I hope. So in here, we're going to do if selected, or I'm sorry, if index is equal to selected. No. If selected is equal to nil, then we're actually, okay, so in here we're going to do local, no, not local. We're going to say, um, what do we want to do here? What I'm trying to do here, if I can get, oh, sorry. So what I'm trying to do here, I keep missing, okay. Anyways, so what I'm trying to do here is in in Roblox Studios, I have an issue where I need to find the button. So I need to find the button, but it's in a different function, so I cannot get it. So imagine we made the button, so in the create button function, and we're trying to get it over the to the other functions. I'm just going to call this function, but it is impossible. So, or it could be possible, and I am just not doing it right. But if we go back into here, if selected is equal to nil, then we're going to do a local thing, and it's going to be no, we're just going to do it because there's only the hotbar. So local script. Oh wait, no. Hotbar is equal to script dot parent. If I can get back here actually. Okay, so script dot parent dot parent dot parent. Wait for child player GUI. Wait for child inventory GUI, and then finally wait for child hotbar. So now we're going to do hotbar, and then in brackets we are going to do selected. No, not selected. Not selected. Index dot. Okay, so now we have something that we can actually play around with. See, if we go back into here, we need to figure out a way to differentiate something from being selected and not selected. So we could change the border color. That would be obvious. But what we could do instead is make the background color like, ooh, too dark. No, I don't like. I will do the border. I'll just make it 2. So if I go into here and then, where was it? It should have. No, see, it doesn't because I have a UI corner. Ooh, you know what I could do? I could just bold it, right? So is there a check mark for bold? Maybe rich text? No. Bold. Yes, I can do that. Bold and no, I'll just do bold. Alright, it may not be too noticeable, but we're going to do, so first, I'm going to leave this actually, and going to put it into a comment so I can mess around. I'm going to do enum dot button style. Is this it? Dot. No. So enum dot. What was it? I just had this. So it is. Do I do text style? Um. Let me look up style. Font style? Is this it? Dot. Oh, bold. Can I do dot? No, I cannot. Okay, dot font weight. What's this? Dot bold. Here we go. Here we go. I'm gonna do heavy. So now that I'll stick with bold actually. So I'll say dot font weight is equal to enum dot font weight dot bold. And this may not work first try, but I'm going to hope it does work. So if I go, oh, whoa, that would cause problems, so I'm gonna get that out of there. Okay, so I go into here, hit it. Font weight is not a valid member of text button. Dot. So I have some work to do. Oh, this is in font face. So if I go back to here, can I do dot? I can actually test with it over here. Button dot font face dot. Ah, here we go. Dot font face dot bold is equal to true. Whoa. Also, I just want to show you guys, and I want you to appreciate this is really good work. That is my colleague right there. He does a good job modeling. Okay, so if I can get to why in the world. Okay, can you just spawn me in where I want to? Okay, I am going to delete that. Not delete it. I'll put it like I'll put it under replicated storage just for now because I don't want to deal with that. Alright, click it. I hit 1 and nothing happens. Cool, cool, cool. Now why will this not work? Now see, what I like to do when something does not work is I like to constantly be printing stuff. So I'm going to while wait and then we'll do 0.1 do and then print. We're going to print selected and items. Now, what if I while wait 0.1 do print local functions dot selected. Selected. Why does this not work? Expected EOF. I do not understand. Oh, do I have to put it before? Oh, it works. Cool. No. Nil. Whoa. Whoa. What just happened? Oh. You know what the issue is? I just realized it can't run any of the functions. If I do that, so I'll do, wait, no. But we're sending through selected. It's getting it. Okay. Well, we made some progress today. Not an incredible amount, but I am going to show off what I did because I was recommended to do that thing. So, here is all that we did. Fixed, pick up, issue, started, GUI, interactability, and that is about it. Here's what we did. So I'm going to call this day 2. Going back up here, let's see if I finished off of anything. No, I did not. So I'm going to cut back to here. Actually, no. 1 second. Alright. Well, this is my ending. I hope everyone has a good day, and I hope to see you guys next time when I hopefully finish off that and a couple of other things. Have a nice day, everyone. Goodbye.